This is an absolute dream team for me. The 2013 film The Heat, directed by the flawless Paul Feig and written by Katie Dippold, who's written and worked on a lot of really good films, is easily one of my favourite comedy films and one of my favourite crime comedies. And the narrative is great, but for me, the dream team of Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy as Ashburn and Mullins, respectively, is so perfect. I love the way they work together. I love their on-screen camaraderie. And the contrast in the characters' personalities works really well. So if you haven't seen the film, the description from IMDb is as follows. An uptight FBI special agent is paired with a foul-mouthed Boston cop to take down a ruthless drug lord. And I will let you work out for yourself which one is the foul-mouthed Boston cop. It's quite a mouthful for me to say that. And obviously we have two very contrasting personalities here, and you just know they are going to get themselves into some... I'll explain that in a moment. They're going to get themselves into some very awkward situations while they try and do this, and obviously one of them wants to just relax and enjoy the job, and the other one, they have to solve it, and it's absolutely brilliant. The reason I was laughing is there was a scene in this where Melissa McCarthy says something. I think it's when they're in a pub, and to this day I cannot think of that without laughing, but I don't want to spoil it for you, so if you think you know what I'm on about, let me know, and if not, if you want to know, let me know and I'll tell you. But it really is hilarious. It's beautifully scripted. The dialogue is gorgeous. It's so funny. It's so raw. A little bit raunchy at times. It's not predictable. I'm not saying there aren't bits that are predictable, but there are fewer predictable elements in it than I had expected, because you kind of think, well, it's a good cop, bad cop kind of story. They're going to find people, this is going to happen, that is going to happen. But actually, there's more to it. It's got a lot more substance than what I would have expected for this kind of film. It's also quite long. I think it's just under 2 hours. But, it's a Paul Feig comedy. That time goes by ridiculously quickly. And as with Feig's other films, I get to the end and I just think, well, let's just watch that again. Because it's so good fun. I can't really imagine anybody else being cast in this. McCarthy and Bullock are just fabulous together on screen. The development of the narrative is great. The pacing is perfectly fine. There isn't anything about this that I did not enjoy. It's maybe one of my favourite Melissa McCarthy films, not one of my favourite Sandra Bullock films. But I have very high standards for what I like from a Bullock film, usually a thriller or All About Steve. This film is fantastic. If you haven't seen The Heat, not to be confused with other films called e.g. Heat, I can only encourage you to watch it. If you like funny films, you will love this. If you like cop films, you will like this. Honestly, it's fantastic, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Paul Feig can do no wrong.